This is not a comfortable place for a State Department spokesperson to find oneself.
I'm not going to speak to specific cases, as I said at the onset, for obvious reasons, but it is hardly endemic.
That's State Department spokeswoman Jen Psaki denying accusations that diplomatic security agents on the Secretary of State's security detail frequented prostitutes at an endemic level. Psaki faced more questions a few hours ago.
The notion that we would not vigorously pursue criminal misconduct is not only preposterous, it's inaccurate.
She was put on the defensive because of reports that investigations into allegations of wrongdoing by various State Department officials around the globe, including a U.S. ambassador, have been quashed by senior State Department and diplomatic security officials. CNN has obtained an internal memo from the State Department's Office of the Inspector General from October 2012, provided by the attorney for former Senior Inspector General investigator Aurelia Fidenison. Distraught about investigations allegedly being shut down, Fidenison first told her story to CBS News.
We were very upset. We expect to see influence, but the degree to which that influence existed and how high up it went was very disturbing.
Among the shocking charges in this memo, purportedly from Ambassador Larry Dinger in the State Department's Inspector General's office, that an agent determined that a U.S. ambassador, quote, routinely ditches his protective security detail in order to solicit sexual favors from both prostitutes and minor children, with the, quote, ambassador's protective detail and the embassy's surveillance detection team well aware of the behavior. The agent was told by higher-ups in the Inspector General's office, quote, not to open a formal investigation, the memo says. The ambassador remains in place. To be fair, the memo itself says some of the allegations came from office chatter, and the ambassador vigorously denies the allegations. Still, the question, why was the investigation not allowed to proceed? The memo also notes that 3 members of then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's security detail, quote, engaged prostitutes while on official trips in Colombia and Russia. An agent looking into it, quote, reportedly concluded the security detail problem was endemic, but higher-ups told the agent to shut down the investigation. And yes, there's more. Other incidents include a team of drug enforcement agents who killed 4 people in a remote Honduran village, but did not report the incident. And the death of a security contractor in Baghdad from a methadone overdose. Quote, an underground drug ring may have been supplying such drugs, the report says, but the regional security officer did not allow an agent to pursue that line of inquiry.
This is a case where we are, of course, take every allegation of misconduct seriously, and we investigate them thoroughly. These are accusations and not conclusions.
Now, because these are allegations in a memo, not conclusions that have been thoroughly investigated, CNN is not naming those mentioned in the report. The ambassador in question has issued a statement saying he is, quote, angered and saddened by the baseless allegations that have appeared in the press, and to watch the 4 years I have proudly served in the country in question smeared is devastating. I live on a beautiful park that you walk through to get to many locations, and at no point have I ever engaged in any improper activity, close quote. A spokesman for Hillary Clinton, who was Secretary of State during the period in question, said Clinton was completely unaware of any of the investigations mentioned in the Office of the Inspector General's memo. We learned of it from the media, a spokesman for Clinton said, and we don't know anything beyond what's been reported.